It did say I am creating a new broadcast. Where is my dot? You? I wonder who's going to be in here first. You? Where is my dot? Let me go over here. Maybe that'll tell me better. I'll do the chat over here. Yes, I am live, and I wonder who is going to be here first. Who is it? Who did you say it was? It is indeed John D. Nicola.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, one at a time, enter the time machine.
You okay?
Ooh. That's always intense.
6.
Man.
That is always so intense.
I think it's because of that new.
And I needed it because I've been gone for a long time.
Yeah.
I've been good, Robert Reed. And how you been?
Yeah, I can.
But I really needed that.
Share. Yeah, that was a ride. You're right. Right.
That was the heaviest I've ever gone.
What a ride! My
It was a ride. John D. Nicola, welcome.
That was experiential.
It really was.
Experiential.
Oh my goodness,
I agree, Big.
So I was given.
All right. Here, let me take this off. John D. Nicola, look at that head. You're looking at it for the first time. Nobody else is looking at it. Just you. Don't tell anybody how horrifically beautiful it is. Music? Did you say music? I got music. Make it like
We're going to do a
boys.
song here that we haven't done for a while. We wrote this in 2017. It's in the key of C.
The sponsors up.
Bring it, pull it out.
The Bunkhole.
Pull it out.
Tug's Bunkhole. To be 300 feet deep,
smallest
safe, and secure from any natural disaster, specifically government natural disasters.
It's got a lot of words.
Golden twangers in there.
The golden hanger.
The golden twangers in that guitar case.
Pull it out, man. Let's see it.
That's what she
Yes,
said.
I have news on West Virginia.
And it went.
Nothing special.
That's the one.
That's a nice twang, Beg.
He could have said it too, but I wasn't around when he said it.
Grab a load of ding dong, granny. That heart ain't gonna attack itself. Pull up a chair, listen to the fat part of this song. Get ready to scoot a boot to a willy willy with Jongo. This story's gonna help your ass ride along. About to get real strong. Have you never heard the legend of how he did everywhere he went? The spectacle he brought to town, it was a big affair. He had a piano, bucket, chicken leg, an egg on a dime, a monkey in his Shriner's hat, and bottles of gold elixir that curl your hair. His wagon had a second story, one full of painted gals, lined up in a row, sitting pretty on a preacher's bench. He had a cuckoo clock that screech on the hour, letting all the patrons know how he do's, had to do's, what he do's everywhere he went. That's how we do. That's how we do. This what he did, what he did, what he did, over in the middle of the town. Son of a paying his dues, and his mother way overdue. Born to do what he did, all the doings see it done all around.
Play that clanger, Big. And Clyde on the harmonica. Master harmonicas.
One day while the monkey was grinding, all the ladies were cleaning up. Sheriff Little to Nothing rode up on his scruffing horse. He said, I'm looking for dues, I'm here to collect. Everybody got to pay that tax. When the piano plucked the chicken, laid an egg, plucked the monkey, grabbed the sheriff's gun. Now the ladies threw a rope around that sheriff's neck, knocked his lazy ass up off the ground. The cuckoo popped out, knocked the bottle of elixir down the choking sheriff's throat. He swallowed a few, his neck hairs grew, and the curly ones broke the rope. When how he had to do what he did in the other town. That's how we do. That's how we do. This what he do, all over in the middle of town. Son of a paying his dues, and his mother way overdue. Born to do what he did, all the doings he had done all around.
Oh, how are you doing, Oregon Road? Good to see you.
Hang on, Daddy. Wait for me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
gotta get in there. The sheriff's about to wake up. Come on, little Susie. Hurry up, girl. You know if he wakes up, we're in big trouble. Hello, Daddy. Just slow the wagon down.
All right, that's my sponsors, the Bakelite Boys.
How I do's, that's how I do.
Yes, that's how we do's. Yeah, that was the Bakelite Boys. I performed with them for about 3 or 4 years. But I am patriotic, and I did mention patriotism and police. Do you think the police feel patriotic when they arrest, detain, break in, torture, handcuff, batter, beat, molest, finger? I mean, we could go down the long line list of it. But, okay, if you are feeling patriotic, I'm not even going to give it a choice because I'm feeling especially patriotic with them. Salute. Put your hand on your heart.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land and the home of the brave.
All right, Bravo, bravo, bravo. Are we feeling he's choking on that blue line? Is that right, Oregon Road? Yeah. Well, here we are in the bunkhole, and I'm sorry I've been late, not around. That's what I do in the bunkhole. I'll disappear for months because I'm in my bunkhole. Safe and secure, again, from any natural disaster. Earthquakes, volcanoes, polar, magnetic pole shifts, if the magnetic pole shift on the Earth, the only difference is I'd be on the other side of the planet. In my bunkhole, safe. You people would be fucked. Because you'd be dead. You'd be right off the planet. But I'd be safe. That's what I've been doing. Preparing for doomsday. Amongst my other things, but nothing has been happening with my case in McDowell County. I filed 2 motions to have the district attorney, elected district attorney, and the senior magistrate judge disqualified for judicial misconduct over 2 months ago. Haven't heard hide and hair from it. So I guess they're investigating. And I went through that a show or 2 ago, if you don't remember, Oregon Rogue. Tribe, good to see you. All right. So, now that I've greeted and meted everybody, we are going. Do I have anything else? I don't want to do RoboCop. We're out of here. We're going, of course. Let's get out of here. We're going to go to. I go there every show. The Horticulture room. Want to go visit my brother, my world famous horticulturalist, Puff. Relation to Snoop Dogg. Good to see you, Puff. Oh, I see you're holding down the fort. Still happy as could be. How's your cousin's gummy bear business going? Howard Clegg, good to see you. Yes, it has been a while. Just catching up. Just catching up with my boy Puff and Elon. Elon's getting a lot of bad press lately. They're coming after Elon. Elon, do you see? Elon, do you care? Elon, do you care that they're coming after you? So, richest man in the world, I guess. He don't give a fuck, does he? They're coming after a lot of us. And I'm telling you, Bill, you little flaming lefty, even you smoke dope and we can agree on certain things. Everybody's starting to recognize it. That we're all being trumped. It's just now Trump, a rich guy, is getting it. Now everybody cares. And everybody's doing everything to, and then you got Fannie and Wade down there in Georgia. Isn't that a pleasant thing? Isn't it? I mean, and then we got the daggum mayor up there in Dalton, Illinois. Yes, city girl shit. Come on now. And they're worrying about I ain't even going to get into the other thing because they'll come after me. They're coming after me enough. I don't need to mention other dates in a whole year. 372 days in a year, and I'm not allowed to mention one. Because then that'll set me on track to be on more lists of different nomenclatured entities. John and Nicole, is that right? She's living in a city apartment, city-owned apartment. She's squatting. These city girls love to squat, and they like to twerk, too. No, Oregon Road, don't do that. Oh, you're gonna, jeez Louise, delete. Oregon Rogue, delete yourself. You're a mod. But this place isn't the place to talk politics. It's the place to kill, yes, Elon. Welcome. I see you're enjoying some puff dog horticulture mastery. Yes. Charles is happy. Thanks, Puff. Yeah, this show, we're going to need two of them. Okay, here, let me hit this. Welcome to the Bunkhole Horticulture Room. I'm getting back. I'm going to get back to the show. The bunkhole, the purpose of the bunkhole today. Well, not the purpose. The bunkhole is multidimensional, right? I mean, it's slithery and slimy. The bunkhole is. Many, see, he's slipping and sliding. Many different things, caverns and openings and orifices in the bunkhole. 420, that is exactly right. I'm just going to reach over here. And let's reach back here. Let's go all the way back. Right. Ah! Woo, smell that. Wow. Puff. Oh, Puff, you're doing it. Masterful job. Puff has written 420 books on horticulture, growing tomatoes, tomatoes, corn, carrots, beets, yes, tomatoes. Cardinal loves it, but that's why Charles, that's why Charles has so much energy. But Pup Dog, he has definitely written 420 books on it. That's why I can survive down here. Okay, one more time. Thanks, Puff. Go ahead. It is also Peg's place. That's what we call this places. Down under, because Peg is down under, and it's always 420 down under. That's the only place where it's always 420 down under. They should write a song about that. All right. Let's go ahead and get the hell out of here. We are going to pull up your pants. We are going to PP13. Oh my. The most horrible, disgusting place on the planet. PP13. Watch yourself. Step over that sludge, right? There. Oh, you stepped in it. Did you hear it? Slime? Oregon Road. Ooh, and then Howard Clegg came in right behind you. Oh, Oregon Rogue splattered Howard Clegg with a whole bunch of sludge. Probably sewage from PP13 here. Your new shoes. Well, you shouldn't have worn your new shoes into PP13. See if this works. Oh, apparently that doesn't work right there, but we will fix that in a minute right here. Have to fix this. Oh. Definitely have to fix that because my other camera isn't working. But anyhow, where's Steve? Steve? How are you doing, Steve? That's my buddy Steve right there. Been holding down the fort, Steve? Yeah? Yeah, Steve, what have you been doing, Steve? You've been just sitting here the whole time, watching your brother? Is that what you've been doing? No? What the hell is that, Steve? Oh, you've been going, duck, Steve, duck! That's what you've been doing? Training? Line one, duck! Duck!
Open fire!
Jeez Louise, guys! For fuck's sake, is that what's been going on down here, Steve? No wonder why you need to take a hit of this. Go ahead, Steve. Get off of the camera and take a hit, Steve. Here, take a hit of that. That'll help you, calm your nerves. Jeez. Them fucking guys just dropped out of the fucking ceiling, Steve. You crazy PP-13 sons of bitches. I'm telling you. Okay. There you go, Steve. That was crazy. Let's see if we can fix this. Snowflake. I'm looking for my daggum that's the Pro Cam. That's the logo. I need to have a daggum set. Okay, we'll do that in the other. Just wanted to stop in to say, Steve, we'll do that in the law library, since I can't find it here. I'm looking for my other window. Review this real quick. Huh. I'll have to add one right here. Play capture. Play capture 2. Okay. And there we go. That's what I wanted. Now I have to do this. Oh, it's so complicated in here in the PP-13. Okay. We are in PP-13. Let me get off the see? Sorry. It's been a while, folks. You have to understand it's been a while. So here we're at PP-13, and it is serve and protect, PP-13, and welfare checks and helping veterans, all in one. So let's go ahead and watch this video.
You on film? You on film? You want to come in my yard?
Sir, we're going to pick you up. We're going to put you back in the wheelchair here,
You ain't gonna do shit.
You're really going to do this?
No,
They didn't do anything to us. So I got this property.
Get off my
Oh, my
property.
God.
No, get off my property.
That's a video of officers assaulting 38-year-old Marine Corps veteran, Corporal Retired Mel Court. He lost both of his legs in Ramadi, Iraq on December 7, 2005. He is a wounded combat veteran, and he was on his own private property. On October 21st, 2022, his neighbor, Cheryl Cade, called the police because she was accusing her neighbor, Mel Court, of damaging her fence.
This is an outrageous story that you must know.
This is a video of the fence in question. The fence is 38 years old and runs along the adjacent properties. Cheryl Cade, the neighbor, has no proof or evidence that Mel Court damaged her fence. And he didn't. The police came out, took her statement, and then wanted to talk to Mr. Court. Mr. Court was answering their questions from across the fence, but they wanted to be closer. He told them, no, do not come on my property. I do not consent.
Here is more video prior to Mel Court's arrest.
Can you get off my property, please? Okay. Get off of my property. I do not want to speak to you. You have no consent to be on my property. Get off now. Get off of my property. Get off of my property now. Get off of my property, please. And just to let you know, the body cam is showing that he refused to get off my property. Get off my property now. Get off. You're
Hey,
in my way.
Yo.
You're on my property.
Okay.
Get off my
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Get
Don't do
off.
that.
Get off
Don't do
my
that. Don't
property.
do that. Don't do that.
What
Let
you
him-
want to do? Get off
Let
my
him
property.
through.
Get
Let
off.
him through.
Get off my property.
You guys
Get
call
off
them
my
a lot.
property. Get off. I'm
At
going
this
to.
point, all we came over
Get
here
off
to
my
do
property.
is investigate.
Hold on. You're gonna make him
Get off my
fall.
property, bitch.
You're gonna make
Get
him fall.
off.
You keep.
Ramming a police officer.
No, you.
Get off
You
my property.
understand
Hold
what
on. No,
he's
no, no,
doing?
no.
Get off.
Listen, you
Don't
will get
let
arrested too. You will get arrested.
I have a weapon on
Listen,
every please let go of my
I
hand.
understand that, but you will get arrested too if you do not let us do what we have to do. Can I explain something to you?
It took 3 officers to come over here.
Listen, can I explain something to you?
What's that?
Can we reason?
He got to get off my husband like that.
Back up, Jack. Good to see you.
Look at what you. Don't take them off so he can see what you've done. Take it off. It ain't no adjusting them. Take the cuff off of me. How can I relax? Look at my wrist. Look at my Sam. Sam, come film. Come film.
You have to let me
Sam,
fix them.
film. Look at my wrist.
You have to let me fix them.
Look at my wrist.
Sir, there's no marks on your
Look.
wrist.
What the fuck you mean?
There's absolutely no marks.
Sam.
After being placed in a squad car, the police claim there is no injury to Court's wrist. However,
Sam, pull my sleeve up. Let her pull my. Look. Pull my sleeve up, please. Pull it. There you go. Nothing on my wrist. Nothing on my wrist.
so police are caught in a lie, then switch up their tactics.
Nothing on my wrist.
But what you don't understand
Nothing on my
is
wrist,
that is his. That's how he
Nothing on
gets
my wrist.
around.
So,
Come on, bro.
Did you
Okay.
call to yell at me? Or?
No, I'm not yelling at you. I'm telling you, nothing on my wrist. This how I move, dude.
As Jolly Good Ginger stated in the original video, the neighbor called about Court allegedly damaging a fence. However, video taken may dispute this claim as the fence
Oh, what a
already
beautiful fence that
appears
is.
quite old and rusty.
You're not hearing me.
That's even better. So they come back and investigate it. There's no
Go
damage, so they
investigate.
leave.
Please show me the damage. He didn't show me any damage. Can you take me out of here and take me and show me the damage?
Did you even get to that?
You
point?
didn't show me no damage because there.
Hold on. I've got to say something. What did he do? Did he cut his legs off and the tree fell on our fence? No, that's terrible to say. No, it isn't. He's a combat vet, former Marine that fucking sacrificed, and you get some fucking Karen? You like Karens, don't you, Steve? Yes, Steve. You say, yeah, no, you don't like Steve? No, you don't like Karens, Steve? No, because whenever the Karens call the police, what happens? Even a disabled Marine vet with both legs blown off, sorry, gets handcuffed and carried into a car and thrown in there because of a beautiful fence. Look at the beautiful fence. Just look at it, would you?
Quite old about Court allegedly damaging a fence. However, video taken may dispute this claim as the fence already appears quite old and rusty.
You're not.
Did he climb the ladder and to chop a tree down and he fell? He took a misstep on the ladder and he fell and the tree hit your fence, right? How much damage could this man really do to a fence? And why is it? I'd like to see the body cam of the Karen. Did they go to see the Karen first? Obviously did, because they were standing in her yard looking over the fence at him. But they had to get closer. But they had to get closer to that man. I mean, how big do you have to feel, and how much of a patriotic? These police officers in PP-13 are patriotic fuckers, aren't they? Just like all the ones I've encountered and arrested me, they're all patriotic too. Okay, let's continue.
Hearing me.
That's even better. So they come back and investigate it. There's no
Go
damage, so they
investigate.
leave.
Please show me the damage. He didn't show me any damage. Can you take me out of here and take me and show me the damage?
Did you even get to that?
You didn't show me no damage because there's no damage.
Past the sidewalk into the backyard. We got about
Because he asked for
There's
them
no
to leave the
damage.
property.
halfway down the
The
sidewalk.
thing, we've got someone saying there's damage, and you're saying
I'm
there's
telling you it's
they
no
don't get
damage.
the-
He informed them to go get a warrant if they wanted to come on his property without his permission. When Mr. Court had finally had enough, he said, "I'm done with this," and tried to leave. The officers blocked his wheelchair, refused to let him leave, and then eventually drug him out of his wheelchair and arrested him, as you saw in the opening video. They charged him with assaulting a peace officer. This happened on a Friday, and Mr. Court spent the entire weekend in jail. While he was in jail, they didn't properly administer his diabetes medication, so he ended up in the infirmary twice, once in very serious condition.
Ginger then puts us on to the department and the officers who showed up and apprehended Mel Court. Despicable behavior that must be called out. Thus, Ginger set up a GoFundMe, which reads as follows. Corporal Retired Court is a Marine Corps combat veteran who lost his legs in Iraq,
Hoorah.
December 7th, 2005. On the afternoon of October 21st, 2022, Corporal Retired Court was working in his yard cleaning and clearing debris for the county CAUV program when a neighbor accosted him over damage to a 30-year-old fence. She called the local sheriff's office, who came to investigate the call. Corporal Retired Court tried speaking with the officer from a distance, which did not appease the officer, who decided to come onto Court's property with two more officers after being told by Corporal Retired Court that his presence was not welcome on said property. After numerous times of telling the officers to get off the private property, in which the officers failed to comply, Corporal Retired Court decided to leave the scene and had his path blocked by the officers several times and was assaulted by them. He spent 3 days in jail, not given his medication because he is diabetic, nor proper dietary meals. He was initially charged with assault on a peace officer, a felony, and several other misdemeanors. The felony was dropped and he still has to fight the misdemeanors and clear his name. This case is ongoing, and any help to fight for his civil rights is appreciated. Thank you. If you can, please donate to his GoFundMe.
Protecting and serving. And yes, protecting and serving. Let me get off camera here. Steve? That was pretty wild. He damaged her fence. But that is not the, I just wanted to get that one in there as a warm-up. That's a hell of a warm-up for PP-13. The real reason for being in PP-13 is, yes, veterans being abused, people being abused in general, but community caretaking, welfare checks, we love them, don't we? Steve, do you like? The cops welfare checked you many times, didn't they? Yes, Steve's been welfare checked many times. But he keeps shut anymore. That's why he's down here in PP-13 all the time. Because, for fuck's sake, Barry ain't doing a fucking thing. Barry, how you been, Barry? Oh, fuck it. Oh, jeez. See, that's why Steve is here. He's Barry. Just does not pay the fuck attention. Ever. Anon Mouse, good to see you. Line 1, again, good to see you. But that was just a warm-up video. This is another community caretaking act of compassion by PP-13. No sound, but you'll get the picture. A picture is worth 1,000 words. I'll tell you what happened. This woman that is dragging the other woman is there to protect and serve. She was called because the other woman has some mental problems going on. I wonder if it's the other way around. Who has the mental problems in this situation? Now, I'm sure we've all seen this video. But again, look at the powerful, empowered, strong, independent woman. Caretaking. Ponytail, police. Pull. Oh, yeah, kick her one more time. There you go. Kick her again. You are so badass, girl, friend. Your grandma, Duth, loved Barry. Yeah, this is a... Yeah, are you all right, ma'am? Can I assist you any more? Can I help you? I understand that you're going through some mental problems right now. So let me bend down and give you a word of advice. Like a counselor. Lay down, ma'am, on this hard floor. But not a hard floor, but I wanted a couch, counselor. Uh-oh, what's she pulling? Is she going to roll her up in the fucking mat? Why is she grabbing the dag? Uh-oh, I think she's going for a long... Oh, jeez Louise. All right, let's pause that right there. All right, that was a lot of helping. That was a lot of caretaking. Do you think the woman was being dragged had a mental issue? Or do you think the woman that was dragging had a mental issue? It's a simple question, which requires a number one, if you think the woman being dragged has a mental issue. Or number two, if you think the woman dragging had the mental issues. I wonder what it's going to be. Number one, the girl being dragged, handcuffed, being pulled out by her hair, dragged out by her hair. Steve, do you say two? Steve says two. The ponytail cop is the sadist. I agree. I wonder what she was going to do with that carpet. Take her for a ride? All right. That was another nice warm-up to a community caretaker. Just a welfare check, ma'am. Cajun Randy, you're absolutely right. And Steve was saying, just saying, that dirty, rotten fucking Cajun Randy didn't show up, right, Steve? Yeah. Steve was cussing you just a few seconds ago, Cajun Randy. Two? Bison Stevens said two. Of course, it's the sociopathic. Hold on, we'll go back. Yes. The sociopath is the one that is dragging the other girl. Watch her grab her by the hair. Yeah, blame it on Steve. That's helping. All right. So let's just go to the next one, because this one will get you.
Oh, your door's open.
Hello, your door's open,
I
sir.
don't feel comfortable opening this door without my parents here, sir.
Who are you?
I'm my son. My mom.
You're my son.
No,
What's your
I'm
name?
my mom's son.
Where's your
That's
mom
my
at?
My mom's not here, sir.
What's your name? How old
I
are
don't
you?
even feel comfortable.
How old are you?
I don't
I
feel
need to
comfortable.
find your girlfriend.
Hello, the door's open, sir. Ma'am, is there anybody in here?
Hello, your door's open.
We're here to serve, help, protect. Are you okay, sir? Who are you?
It was an illegal search of this home. It was an illegal seizure of that minor, and ultimately it was a false arrest.
Yes, just here to protect and serve, Steve. What's that, Dweeb? What? Yeah, that happened to you too, Dweeb? That's Dweeb all the way over there. That's Dweeb, Steve's brother. That's why Steve is here also. To protect his brother, because for fuck's sake, Barry ain't gonna protect him. How you doing, Steve? Good to see you. Hope you're still involved in that tobacco spit drying and smoking tobacco, dried up tobacco spit and juices. Yeah, making a good buck back there. Good. Joko, Kansas City Cop Watch. Good to see you. All right. So here we go. We're going to go, the last video, helping, protecting veterans and welfare checks. And just, hello, the door was open. Hello. And we just cracked it a little bit more. Who are you? Who are you? Freaking media. Who are you? Steve, who are you? He's cutting up the sports bar, huh? Okay, here we go. Next video.
Hi, Doug? Douglas, Mr. Slade.
Yes.
How you doing?
All right.
We got a call from, was it the veterans?
I don't know what they call for.
Can we come in and talk to you for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anyone else in the house?
No, just me.
Okay.
So, I'm just gonna make sure nobody else is.
No, please, no. Hold on, I asked you no.
All right,
So
all right, just
I'm gonna have to
relax.
ask you to leave, because this is my house.
You go, boy.
Let me ask you just a couple questions. Okay. The veterans people, they were concerned. Okay, regarding a couple things. One was which that you were threatening to commit.
That's not true.
Okay. So what I'm here for is just to make sure you're not going to do something like that. You understand? So if you need our help, that's what I'm here for. So we're not here to mess with you, bother you, or anything.
Well, you do understand if you just walk in my place and you just automatically start walking around, and I know y'all wear body cams as well. I'm ex-law enforcement too. If you just come in my place like that and you just start walking around, you have to have my permission to do that. So I don't appreciate that. You can't violate my rights because you got a call to help.
Okay.
So you're not helping me if you just come in and you automatically start violating.
Well, sir, it was more for like officer safety.
No,
That's all
it's
it
not
was.
officer safety because I didn't even have to let you in.
Right.
So,
you did it.
no,
But-
don't say right, because it's about my safety, because you're in my domain, and if you're here to help me, you can't say, well, my safety is, because I have no weapons. Obviously,
We don't know that.
You do know that, because I'm asking you to leave. Please leave. I'm asking you
So
to leave.
you don't feel like hurting yourself?
I'm asking you to leave.
You don't feel like hurting
leave.
yourself?
I'm asking you to leave my residence.
Well, if you answer this question, then we'll.
I'm asking you to leave my residence.
Patriotic.
If you
Aren't
do that,
they
that's your choice.
patriotic people?
Why would you put me in handcuffs? What's
Turn
up?
around, put your hands behind your back.
What have I done?
You're going to listen to what I said. You're going to put down the phone. You're calling 911, and I'm standing right here.
But what have I done?
Put down the damn phone.
Why are you
Turn
cursing
around
at
and put
me?
your hands
Why
behind
are
your
you
back.
using profanity
Put your
at
hands
me?
behind your back.
Why are you using?
Because you know what? You're calling 911. We're standing right in front of you.
But I'm
Does that
asking
make
you to
sense?
leave my residency.
I'm not leaving your place now. Turn around. Put
You
your
said
hands
you
behind
came
your
here to
back.
help
I'm not
me.
doing that now.
All right, sir.
Put your hands behind your back. You're calling 911 right in front of us.
Because I asked you to leave my residency.
All right. Hey, Steve, the best thing you could do to help somebody in a welfare check is to start yelling at them, right? Break into their home, violate their personal space, make them feel real good, doesn't it? Right, Steve? Wouldn't that, I mean, you've been welfare checked. What does it make you feel like? Yeah, pretty fucked up shitty, doesn't it? Let alone a veteran that probably has some issues but knows the law because he's been studying. And he knows his rights. And they just busted in. He was cool with it. He tried to explain, like you try to do to explain to all these motherfuckers. But they never get it because they're single fucking minded. And it's about to end. But it's going to get worse for us. First, this is why I'm doing this show. And it'll all come together, just like it always does, no matter how much time it fucking takes in the bunkhole. Because that's all I have is time. But let's continue.
We can't leave
You
until
know
we
this.
determined.
You know this. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
No,
if you were law
I have
enforcement, then
rights.
you would understand.
Okay. And this is why African Americans have issues with law
Don't
enforcement.
start that. Don't start that. That's a bunch of
I asked you to leave, and you use profanity at someone?
That's okay. I could use that.
Oh,
if
really?
I
For
want,
someone
yes.
who you concerned about
Yes.
doing something to themselves?
Hey, you know what? When you're not listening to commands, what did you do?
That wasn't a command.
All right.
A command for me to ask you to leave my residency?
You don't command us to do
I
anything.
can ask you to leave if you're not supposed. Why are you here? You were here to help me, and
We are here because somebody wanted us to check on you.
and I told you I was fine. And then you started exacerbating my condition.
You
Why are
need-
you putting your hand up like for me not to speak? You can't help a person if you don't want to listen to what they are saying. If I ask you to leave because you're exacerbating my disability, which clearly you're aware I'm a person with a disability because you already observed, number one, you see a sign right here that's saying that. Number two,
How do I know what that is?
Yeah. What is that?
oh, well, how do you, what do you
How do you know I don't have one?
You could, but guess what? If you had one and you came in my residency and I
So,
came,
so you're,
hold on
you're
one
the
second.
victim here, right? You're the victim here, right?
Well, you guys are victimizing me, and now I'm in cuffs.
Well, you're in cuffs now because of the way you're acting.
Why? I asked
Who
you
else
not
is
to
here?
search my place.
Don't-
Why are you grabbing me? I'm not doing anything.
Relax.
I'm in
Because he
cuffs.
sits to stay
Relax.
But
right
I asked you not to look around my
Relax.
place. Okay, that's a violation.
Hey.
What are you doing?
Stand right there.
I can move.
No, you cannot.
Why not?
Because you are in our custody right now. You are being
Okay.
detained.
Okay. I'm being
We-
okay.
You know what? You can call up whoever you talk to and tell them, explain to them.
Sir, would you please
why
not
we're
step
here.
on my rug, please? That's a very expensive rug.
Who says I want to step on your rug?
Why are you acting like
These your
this?
shoes?
See, yes, they are.
Okay, good. You can put them on. You have ID with you?
I do, but I need to get it. I can't get it.
Where's your ID?
Would you please remove your hands off of me?
No, I will not.
I'm not resisting.
No, I will not. No, I
don't
will
get
not.
it.
And I recommend you don't resist. So put your shoes
Why
on.
would I resist so y'all can
Go
whip
ahead,
my
put your
ass?
shoes on.
That's
Where's
what
your
y'all
ID?
want to do anyhow.
What's
Where's
your
your
problem?
You?
You know what? We came here because you called for help.
I didn't
for
call
help.
you. I didn't call you.
Who'd you call?
I did not call
Who
you.
did you call?
I didn't call you.
Who do you think they're going to call?
I don't know. Obviously, I wouldn't want them to call you all.
Well, they did.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
and now you're in our custody because you're under a mental evaluation.
That's
Okay?
funny. Okay. I'm glad, and the body cams are working too.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Where's your ID?
Do you want your ID?
I can't get it because then I'm not going to allow you to go through my things here.
Okay. So you don't own any weapons.
I already showed you that I had no weapons.
I don't
and
know
I told
that.
you that.
I don't know that.
Okay, you don't know anything.
Because I could go looking for anywhere that you might have a weapon if you're going on a 5150 hole.
I shouldn't be on a 5150 hole.
Why don't you?
That's an abuse of authority to put someone on a 5150 hole who has shown no signs of harming themselves.
This is the way we treat our veterans. Patriotic fuckers, aren't they? Yeah. That can serve. All because some counselor at the VA called the cops on them. That's it. One simple phone call from some counselor at the VA. And that happens. That's some fucked up shit. Sorry. I ain't even apologizing. Fuck that. I don't have to apologize. That's some fucked up shit. Pisses me off that veterans are treated this way, or anybody's treated this way. But we've been at war for 20, 25 years straight, pretty much. And the warriors have already paid the price. And they realized that most of them now realize they went to war for the wrong fucking reasons. What they sacrificed, body and limb, mind, was for naught. We go ahead and spread billions around the world to support Ukrainian borders from Russians who've been disputing that territory for 1,000 years, if not longer. If you consider the Mongols and Genghis Khan and his lineage. And it isn't political. It's you're treating American citizens or American veterans who were sent overseas to protect somebody else's border, Afghanistan, Iraq, Kuwait, and pretty much every place on earth. Really. There is some agency in every country. You know this, right? So you're going to have casualties. Some are highlighted and some are not. These are the people that are disposable casualties. The everyday grunt that gets blown up because of a roadside explosion and loses his legs. When we have, and this is not political, we have millions of people that have broken the law by entering this country. I am still in the process of being prosecuted for trespassing. Have they left me the fuck alone? Well, they have, but no, because they've still prosecuted me for over a year and a half for trespassing. And these people were treated a hell of a lot worse. Now, this subject is near and dear to my heart because I was one of these veterans that was 5150. I guess they call it. They called it a 302. They call it a 302 here in Pennsylvania. Many, many, many years ago, the cops came to my front door early in the morning. Not with a warrant for an arrest for a crime. Did the same thing this guy did, was nice to him. I was back to blue at that time. I was a bootlicker. You know, I thought they were patriotic. They didn't need no fucking warrant. Let me tell you. Make a long story short. When some people say, you're crazy, yep. And I have about that big of a fucking file to prove it. It really is just thick. And maybe even this thick now. I don't know. Amongst the agencies, it's probably this thick. Right, Steve? So, all around, we are at lawfare. It is being trumped. Being trumped is trumped. It's being lawfared. It's being, but see, we've been lawfared for a long time. Huh, Steve? Right? Lawfared. Steve knows about lawfared. We all know about lawfared. This is nothing new to normal people. But when it happens to Trump and it's $500 million here and $80 million there and $80,000 a day here and Fannie Wilson and Wade and the bitch up there in fucking New York and the asshole over there in fucking Colorado, that bitch, woo, Colorado bitch, crazy, man. Welcome to the fucking party, Mr. Trump. For fuck's sake. Are you going to back the blue anymore, Donald? Huh? Maybe you have to, don't you? Because you got to still save face, right, Mr. President? Are you going to finally recognize what the rest of us have been trying to say a long time ago, Mr. President? The welfare checks and qualified immunity. And, I mean, they raided your house, didn't they, Mr. President? And who was the ones that guarded the site out on the street? I saw sheriff department, back to blue. I saw police, back to blue. That's your brother. That's your cousin. That's your nephew. That's your father. My father would never be unconstitutional. He's a patriot. But he sure to hell fucking went after the fucking former president, didn't they? That takes some fucking balls, man. But it's all fix. The only thing we could do is fight our own battles because the lawyers and the bar members ain't going to fight it for you. This is why you got to get educated. Because it isn't just the auditors that are starting to figure it out either. You see random people picking up phones whenever the cops come around and they sound like an auditor now, don't they? And it isn't just an auditor, I wouldn't even call it an audit, because audits are much more thorough than a camera can be in totality. Because, you could film the event, but you have certain hidden, redacted places that they can fucking really delay, obfuscate, and hide, which enables them to lie. And whenever that doesn't work, then they start planting shit on you and dreaming up even more severe charges. Now, we're going to head. And this is why I have the bunkhole. Because whenever I find case law, Steve loves case law. Who likes case law? I like case law, but this one, wow. I never knew until today, but it happened in 2022. But, see you later, Steve. Let's go to the law library. Oh, shit. the hell's going on there? Wow. Shooting at me, going the fuck out of the PP-13. They really must be pissed off. And sending a little fire. Yes, the main camera works. Okay. And that works too. Good. Because we're going to get right down to business. We're going to go ahead, bring this back up. I have it all set up. Welcome to the law library. 320 feet deep, safe and secure. I have over here the earliest law of mankind. The law of nature has to be at least 60 to 100,000 years old. The very original, ladies and gentlemen, the original law. Hunters and gatherers. They wrote shit on the walls of the caves. There are the handprints and bison and saber-toothed tigers and a whole bunch of critters, right? Gazelles, deers. Does everybody recognize that, realize that, right? We've all seen it. Well, what they found is and they never understood it before. They found little dots and dashes under it like a deer, right? There would be like 3 dots for a deer. And there would be a dash or a certain figure underneath the saber-toothed tiger, right? And they could never figure out what these symbols meant. Well, them symbols were what to and what to go for and what not to go for. And what season to go for this and what season not to go for. So as they traveled, they stayed in this cave and that cave and this cave, and at certain times they would know because that cave would tell them to go to that cave, or they would know to go to the other cave during hunting season. So the dots and the dashes tell you what's in season, like a hunting license. So I consider that the earliest law, what you can hunt for and what you can't. And it's a law of survival, not a law of man, but nonetheless a law, right? Like the harvest moon. That's right, John D. Nicola. Does that make sense? Look it up. I don't lie here in the bunkhole. So over here, I have the earliest known right there on my shelf. Don't want to get it out. It's hermetically sealed. Got a drawing, a cave drawing. Rock. Illegal to have. I chipped it off myself. But anyhow. And then you work your way over to Egyptian hieroglyphics and other forms of language, communication, should I say, that designates certain things. So then you got Egyptian and all the way around, Magna Carta right there, and the U.S. Constitution. So I am the most well-versed person in law and have the best library on, especially under the planet. Isn't it great? Aren't you just privileged to be here, aren't you? Okay, so here we go. We're going to look at this, and we're going to read this. And I only read a little bit of this, but it got me going. And I'm not going to probably read all of it, but here we go. Has anybody heard of, let me get off camera. Okay. Has anybody heard of Thompson v. Clark? Court of Appeals, Second Circuit. Okay. This is so brilliant, man. Not brilliant, but it is, but it isn't. It's fucked up. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to get dangerous out here for people who film. In January 2014, petitioner Mr. Thompson was living with his wife, or his fiancee, now wife, and their newborn baby in an apartment in Brooklyn, New York. Thompson's sister-in-law, freaking Karen, who apparently suffered from a mental illness, called 911 to report that Thompson was sexually abusing the baby. Oh my. When the emergency medical technician arrived, Thompson denied that anyone had called 911. When the EMT returned with 4 police officers, Thompson told them that they could not enter without a warrant. The police nonetheless entered the home and handcuffed Thompson. EMTs took the baby to a hospital where the medical professionals examined her and found no sign of abuse. Meanwhile, Thompson was arrested and charged with obstructing government administration and resisting arrest. He was detained for 2 days before being released. The charges against Thompson were dismissed before trial with any explanation by the prosecutor or judge. That's important. After the dismissal, Thompson filed a suit under 42 U.S.C. 1983, alleging several constitutional violations, including a Fourth Amendment claim for malicious prosecution. Are you hearing me down there in Randolph County? Oh. Yes, Randolph and McDowell County. All right. I've had so many. McDowell County. You better pay attention. And this is why it's been 1.5 years for them prosecuting me, because of this case right here. Bear with me. Here we go. To maintain that Fourth Amendment claim under 1983, a plaintiff such as Thompson must demonstrate, among other things, that he obtained a favorable termination of the underlying criminal prosecution. To meet that requirement, the Second Circuit Court, court's precedent required Thompson to show that his criminal prosecution ended not merely without a conviction, but also with an affirmative indication of his innocence. Think how fucked up that is. The second court said that he could not bring a 1983 civil rights lawsuit, even when his case was not even brought up for prosecution. Joe Black, good to see you. You're here for the most important part, even though the last videos were important. This is why it's crumbling around these fucking people, and they're only going to get worse. This is why. The Second Circuit Court said that even if you are arrested and spend time in jail, that you, even if you're not proven guilty and the case is completely dismissed, you have no right to sue. By the mere fact that you were arrested. Okay, we'll get on to that. Because it gets really fucked up here. Yeah. Affirmative indication of his innocence. That's what I wanted to say. So, according to the Second Circuit Court, you have to prove your innocence before you could file a civil lawsuit to sue. Okay. The Second Circuit Court said that you have to have some affirmative indication of your innocence before you can sue. Good to see you, Joe Black. Get that through your head. Now, I know John D. Nicola is going to think of a few things here real quick. How fucked up that thought process is, by the mere fact that you were arrested, because that's what it breaks down to at this point. By the mere fact that you were arrested and brought in front of a magistrate or a judge of some form, and you went through the process, by that fact, you cannot sue. Okay, so, yep, thanks, John D. Nicola. But this is a SCOTUS, John D. Nicola. This is why the SCOTUS took it up, because you'll find out. John D. Nicola, stop jumping the gun again, would you? You're too smart. Okay. Okay. Right there. To meet that requirement, yeah. Oh, that Thompson's criminal case had not ended in a way that affirmatively indicated his innocence because Thompson could not offer any substantial evidence to explain why his case was dismissed. Dude, that's so fucking stupid. And this is the Second Circuit and other circuits. Why would you drop a case and then him not allowed to be sued? Because, okay, we'll get to that. The Second Circuit affirmed the dismissal of Thompson's claim. This court granted Centurii resolve splits amongst the courts of appeal over how to apply the favorable termination requirements of the Fourth Amendment claim under 1983 for malicious prosecution. So there's a major split here, and the Supreme Court got to take up in today's world, in 2022, back then, they are still trying to figure out a simple concept and a common law concept such as suing somebody and when you could sue them. Granted, this is a different kind of suit, but still, it's a civil suit. It's just enforced by the federal government on the states. This doesn't even get into the suing federal employees or federal government for 1983. Because it doesn't really apply to them at the federal level, but it does. This is the state level. But think about that. Just let me. In today's world, we're still trying to figure out how to sue somebody. Okay. To demonstrate a favorable termination of a criminal prosecution for purposes of the Fourth Amendment claim under 1983 for malicious prosecution, a plaintiff need not show that a criminal prosecution ended with some affirmative indication of innocence. A plaintiff need only to show that his prosecution ended without a conviction. Thompson has satisfied that requirement here. Of course he did. Okay, now you have a difference. To determine the element of the constitutional claim under 1983, this court practice is to first look at the elements of the most analogous tort of 1871 when the 1983 was enacted. So long as doing so is consistent with the values and purposes of the constitutional right at issue. Here, as most of the courts of appeal, and this is Kasich. I do believe this is Kasich's opinion. This is Kasich's opinion. Yeah. Okay. The most analogous tort in the Fourth Amendment claim is malicious prosecution. In accord with the elements of the malicious prosecution tort, a Fourth Amendment claim under 1983 for malicious prosecution requires the plaintiff to show a favorable termination of the underlying criminal case against him. The parties to this case, as well as the lower courts, disagree about what a favorable termination entails. What the... Okay. The end... Again, in 2022, we're trying to figure out what a favorable termination entails. So, wouldn't that be charges being dropped? Doesn't that make sense? Because what you're asking me to do is you're asking me to prove that I'm innocent because they dropped the charges for me to be able to sue. Do you see how convoluted that is? In order for me to sue a state or local government entity for malicious prosecution, I have to prove that I did not violate the law in order for me to sue, even though the charges were dropped, never brought. It's crazy to me. But anyhow, here we go. This is why they needed to bring it up. And this is why it pertains to me, you, and if you're filming, if your government entities are going to come at you harder now. And this is why. I'm warning you. Here we go. I'm living testament to it. Okay. It is sufficient to show that Thompson's prosecution ended without a conviction, or must he also show that his prosecution ended with some affirmative indication of innocence? Very good. To resolve that disagreement, the court looks to the American Malicious Prosecution Tort Law of 1871. At that time, most American courts agreed that the favorable termination element of malicious prosecution claims was satisfied so long as the prosecution ended without a conviction. That makes total sense, doesn't it? That's too much common sense. A plaintiff can maintain a malicious prosecution claim when, for example, the prosecution abandoned the criminal case or the court dismissed the case without providing any reason. And isn't it funny that they don't have to give a reason why they don't fucking bring the charges? That's crazy to me. See, I mean, they could drop the charges, but they don't want to explain why they dropped the charges because they don't want to have to fucking be sued. They don't, see, it's crazy to me that they don't have to tell you why they dropped the charges. Nor does the court. If the judge says, this case is dismissed, he doesn't have to give you a reason. He'll say, a summary judgment, blah, 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 because the state didn't provide enough evidence beyond a reasonable doubt to convict. That's all he has to say. He doesn't have to get into, nobody has to get into any specifics about why a case is dropped. And it's all wrapped around tort. Doesn't it make sense? That's why we have not been able to solve what it means to not be convicted of a crime and then being able to sue. It's convoluted. I can't even keep it straight in my head right now, but here we go. Okay. Similarly, the Fourth Amendment claim under 1983 for malicious prosecution. Doing so is consistent with the values and purpose of the Fourth Amendment. Questions concerning whether a criminal defendant was wrongly charged or whether an individual may seek redress for a wrongful prosecution cannot reasonably depend on whether the prosecutor or court happens to explain why charges were dismissed. And requiring a plaintiff to show that his prosecution ended with an affirmative indication of innocence is not necessary to protect officers from unwarranted civil suits, as officers are still protected by the requirements that the plaintiffs show the absence of probable cause and by qualified immunity. Thank you very much, Gorsuch. You weasel. I'm sorry. This is Kavanaugh. Sorry, it is Kavanaugh. I just saw this today. I've not read the whole thing, so I apologize, Nat. Good to see you. Kavanaugh delivered the opinion of the court, right? In which Roberts, CJ, Breyer, Sotomayor, Kagan, Barrett joined. Alito filed a dissenting opinion in which Thomas and Gorsuch joined. What does that tell you? I'm favoring on this side right here, on this one so far, right? Well, we don't know yet. We don't know which way they went. I'm sorry, I jumped the gun. Barry Frost. Okay, let's read on. Okay. Here it is. Justice Kavanaugh delivered the opinion of the court. April 4th, 2022. Larry Thompson was charged and detained in the state criminal proceedings, but the charges were dismissed before trial without any explanation by the prosecutor or judge. After the dismissal, Thompson alleged that the police officers who initiated the criminal proceedings had maliciously prosecuted him without probable cause. Thompson sued and sought money damages for those officers in federal court. As relevant here, he advanced a Fourth Amendment claim under 1983 for malicious prosecution. To maintain the Fourth Amendment claim under 1983, a plaintiff such as Thompson must demonstrate, among other things, that he obtained a favorable termination of the underlying criminal prosecution. This case requires us to flesh out what a favorable termination entails. Oh, please tell us. Like we have no clue up to this point what a favorable termination entails. Nat, can you tell me what you, as a reasonably objective human being, what would you interpret a favorable termination entails? Okay. Tell us, Supreme Court, does it suffice for a plaintiff to show that his criminal prosecution ended without a conviction? Or must a plaintiff also demonstrate that the prosecution ended with some affirmative indication of his innocence, such as an acquittal or a dismissal, accompanied by a statement from a judge that the evidence was insufficient? How crazy is that? We conclude as follows. To demonstrate a favorable termination of a criminal prosecution for the purpose of the Fourth Amendment claim under 1983 for malicious prosecution, a plaintiff need only to show that his prosecution ended without conviction. Ding, 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 ding. Do we have any special effects for that? Anything? Oh, we could just do a bomb. We could drop a bomb right here. If that's not a bomb, Shell, I don't know what is. But why would that be a bad thing for us? Why would that be a bad thing for us? Please tell me. I have an idea, and whenever I have an idea, it's pretty spot on most of the time. And I'm living it. I'm living through it. Remember, this is 2021, 22. Okay. Thompson satisfied that requirement in this case. Therefore, reverse the judgment of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit and remand it for further proceedings consistent with this opinion. So they sent it back down. They sent it back down. But he didn't get either one. That's right, Raging Cajun Randy. So, I asked the question, why would that be a bad thing? And if you want to guess, while what we read, by all means guess, and I will look over every once in a while. Here we go. Larry Thompson lived with his fiancee, now wife, and their newborn baby girl in an apartment in Brooklyn, New York. In January 2014, Thompson's sister-in-law was also staying there. Sister-in-law apparently suffered from a mental illness. One day, that January, the sister-in-law called 911 and claimed that Thompson was sexually abusing a 1-week-old baby daughter. Oh. Fucking women. Even with the most women have this kind of fucking derangement in them. Craziness. But this goes to a new level. Two emergency, I wonder what happened in that house just before she called that fucking 911. Sister, you go. Two emergency medical technicians promptly responded. When the EMTs arrived at the family's apartment, Thompson asked the EMTs, why they were there, and denied that anyone had called 911. The EMTs left and informed the police of the situation. The EMTs and 4 police officers then returned to the apartment. When they arrived, Thompson told them that they could not come in without a warrant. The police officers nonetheless entered and, after a brief scuffle, yes, we know what a brief scuffle is, don't we? A little scuffle. I like how he fucking, this judge, words it. A brief scuffle. You know, it ain't never a brief scuffle with cops. You don't ever fucking get handcuffed and it feel good. So it ain't a fucking scuffle. It's an entire development. Because it ain't just the handcuffs, dickhead. It's the prosecution. And you're deciding on a malicious prosecution. So I wouldn't consider it a brief scuffle, you dickhead. Exiled one, he's like 100% damn straight, Tugga. Hey, Judge, have you ever been handcuffed? And if you were, would you call it a brief scuffle? I mean, Kavanaugh, wasn't he the one that was accused of raping a little teeny bopper? You'd think he'd know it because he wasn't handcuffed for it. That's the difference. But I guarantee if he was black, Duke, basketball players, they would have handcuffed him and his life, a cushy life of lawyering, would fucking come to an end. But no, he's Kavanaugh. So it's far from a brief scuffle. And handcuffed Thompson. The EMTs followed the officers into the apartment and examined the baby. After finding red marks on the baby's body, the EMT took the baby to the hospital for evaluation. The marks turned out to be a case of diaper rash. What 1-year-old has diaper rash? That's outrageous. Stop abusing that baby. The medical professional found no signs of abuse. Meanwhile, the police officers arrested Thompson for resisting their entry into the apartment. Thompson was taken to the local hospital and then jailed. While Thompson was in custody, one of the police officers prepared and filed a criminal complaint against charging Thompson with obstructing governmental administration and resisting arrest. Thompson remained in custody for 2 days. A judge then released him on his own recognizance. Doesn't that mean anything? If he's such a horrible sexual deviant, living in an apartment, no protective orders, stay away from that baby little girl. Would you call that an affirmative? Second Circuit? That the charges were bullshit? That he was released on his own recognizance? Yeah, just a question. Before trial, the prosecution moved to dismiss the charges, and the trial judge, in turn, dismissed the case. The prosecutor did not explain why she sought to dismiss the charges, nor did the trial judge explain why he dismissed the case. After the criminal prosecution ended, Thompson brought suit under 1983 against a police officer who had arrested and charged him. Thompson alleged several constitutional violations, including the Fourth Amendment claim of malicious prosecution. Thompson asserted that the officers maliciously prosecuted him and subjected him to unlawful, illegal, and excessive detention in violation of the Fourth Amendment. To prevail on that claim under Second Circuit precedent, Thompson had to show that his criminal prosecution ended not merely without a conviction, but also with some affirmative indication of innocence. We've been through that. Thompson could not put forth any substantial evidence because it never went to trial. That's like asking somebody to produce evidence. It never went to trial. Did you get discovery? Did it get that far? This is insane, if you ask me. And why courts out there had continued to go along. This is worse than qualified immunity. Because it takes away your fucking right to sue if you're damaged. Common law. The Second Circuit. But the Supreme Court here got it right, though. But this judge writing the opinions all kind of fucked up in every fucking sort of way. Therefore, the district court ruled that Thompson's criminal case had not ended in a way that affirmatively indicated his innocence. The district court granted judgment to the defendant officers on the Fourth Amendment claim. Notably, the district court also opined that the relevant Second Circuit precedent can and should be changed to say that a favorable termination occurs so long as the prosecution ends without a conviction. On appeal, however, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit adhered to its precedent in Lanning, blah, 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 affirming the dismissal. Now, I haven't read past this point. I have not read past this point. So this is all new to me, and we're going to go through this briefly, I hope. The Court of Appeals have split over how to apply the favorable termination requirement of the Fourth Amendment under 1983, and it's taken this long. I mean, 1871 to now to figure out what a favorable termination requirement is according to the Fourth Amendment. In addition, the Second Circuit, some other courts of appeals have held that a favorable termination requires some affirmative indication of innocence. How do you gather that evidence if there's no prosecution? Do you have to hire a private investigator to investigate yourself in order to file a civil rights claim to prove the prosecutor dropped it for malicious or good intent? Here's another thing. By them saying that you have to prove why the prosecutor dropped the case, you have to show the prosecutor's intent. And we all know what intent is according to the law. So now I have to fucking prove, in order to sue, the intent of the prosecutor and the judge of why they didn't bring me to trial. It's all kind of fucked up, isn't it? Let's twist it on them because it's the law. It usually pertains to criminals, but it also pertains to you. What is your intent, DA, for dropping that? Do you want me to send a private investigator to your office, prosecutor? Can we root through your garbage can to find this evidence for me to sue? What do we have to do in order to prove that you dropped the reason why you dropped the charges? And of course, you're going to be mum. You're going to be because you don't want to open yourself up to what? A lawsuit. We know this game. It's crazy. Yes, what about the evidence of no wrongdoing? That's enough, but that evidence was never brought up in a trial. So then they'll just say that it was never brought up in an official hearing where it was sworn, where sworn testimony was given and evidence was accepted or denied. I mean, there's so many ways that they could go out from this. I can answer a million of your questions, John D. Nicola, or yes, any of you. Okay. This is an incredible case, and it's dangerous to us, all of us. Tell me why. By contrast, the 11th Circuit has held that a favorable termination occurs so long as a criminal prosecution ends without a conviction. Yes. This court granted certiorari to resolve the split. I can never say that word. I hate Latin. I'm an English motherfucker. In 1871, Congress passed and President Grant signed the Civil Rights Act of 1871. Now codified at 42 U.S. 1983, created a species of federal tort liability for individuals to sue state and local officials for deprivation of rights under the color of law, or it later became under the color of law. In this case, Thompson sued several police officers under 1983, alleging that he was maliciously prosecuted without probable cause and that he was seized as a result. He brought a Fourth Amendment claim under the 1983. A legal process, District Court appeals, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Same old, probable cause. The narrow dispute in this case concerns one element of the Fourth Amendment claim under 1983 for malicious prosecution. To determine the element of a constitutional claim, this court practices is to first look at the element of the most analogous tort of 1871, when 1983 was enacted. So long as doing so is consistent with the values and purpose of the constitutional right at issue. Okay, Yep, we already know that. Okay. The claim for malicious prosecution, the court has recognized it is the wrongful initiation of charges without probable cause. And see, this is another thing. What they're saying is all you need to be is arrested. A magistrate or a judge that says that there is probable cause to arrest you. That's the bar. That's the standard. That's the level by which you have no right to sue. As long as some official, magistrate, or judge at the preliminary level finds that there's probable cause to arrest you, That's good enough. Whatever happens in court is irrelevant. That's what also that they're claiming. But they aren't saying it, as far as I could tell yet. And the wrongful initiation of charges without probable cause is likewise the gravement of the tort of the malicious prosecution. In American courts, as of 1871, the malicious prosecution tort generally allowed discovery against an individual who had initiated or caused the initiation of a criminal proceeding, despite having no good reason to believe that criminal charges were justified by the fact and the law. The malicious prosecution tort protects against injury to the person as connected with false imprisonment and against a wrong to character or reputation. Yeah, it's pretty bad when you're 302 or 5150. American courts describe the element of malicious prosecution tort as follows. The suit or proceeding was instituted without any probable cause. But see, that's the thing. Who determines probable cause? Probable cause is initially determined by the cop without warrant on the scene. But he's not the trier of facts. So the cop can arrest believing that he has probable cause without an investigation, but it's up to the judge to determine whether the cop gave him enough facts in an affidavit and facts at hand to inform the judge enough to then hold you over on bail or let you go on your own recognizance. So what they're saying is just by the initial conference with the judge and the bail hearing and the stipulations of bond, that deprives you of the right to then go ahead and sue. It's so far-reaching. It's mind-boggling. Okay. Third requirement, a favorable termination of underlying criminal prosecution is the focus of the party's dispute in this case. Of course it is. Okay. The favorable termination requirement serves multiple purposes. It avoids parallel litigation in civil and criminal proceedings over the issue of probable cause and guilt. It precludes inconsistent civil and criminal judgments where a claimant could succeed in the tort action after having been convicted in a criminal case. So they want to keep you down. They want to prosecute you first, and they'll take that first. They ain't going to let you sue first. You see, that can be used in a criminal court. So they're going to prosecute you first. And whoever made that rule up that you have to be prosecuted first before you could sue. It's crazy, isn't it? Okay. I don't know. Okay. Yes. Being improperly used as collateral attacks on the criminal proceedings. See, they're saying improper collateral attacks. That's why they do it first. Thank you for answering my question. The parties to this case disagree about what a favorable termination entails. In particular, does it suffice for a plaintiff to show that his prosecution ended without a conviction? Or must the plaintiff also show that his prosecution ended with some affirmation, indication of his innocence, such as an acquittal or a dismissal accompanied by a statement from the judge that the evidence was insufficient to resolve that disagreement? Don't you think that to resolve that disagreement a long time ago, you should have rules for judges to make statements why they said dismissed, or rules for the prosecutor to give to the fucking guy or woman that they illegally arrested and detained and put through this process? Hell no. I'm a stupid guy, but I mean, this isn't hard to figure out, is it? Really? In most American courts that had considered the question as of 1871, the favorable termination element of malicious prosecution claims was satisfied so long as the prosecution ended without a conviction. As an influential New York decision explained, when the individual was convicted in the suit or proceeding complained of, he could not maintain an action for malicious prosecution. But when the individual was not convicted, the question is whether the prosecutions instituted by the defendant can be said to have been terminated, disposed of, or, as the books usually say, at an end. Gone, done, over. Nothing bad happened, which means that's good for you, right? So let me ask this question too. Is the court saying that they're happy that they didn't find any evidence and that's why it's a bad thing that the district attorney or prosecutor dropped the case? Think about that too. These courts are saying that it's a bad thing that a district attorney drops the charges. Otherwise, they would say, yay, and then they'd root out the bad malicious prosecution ends, right? They would want that to happen. These judges in these courts, you would think that that would be a positive for them, that the DA did the right thing. So why are you casting one versus the other? Isn't it a win-win for both? The taxpayers don't pay for the prosecution. The district attorney doesn't waste their time, doesn't waste the judge's time. So why is this dispute even happening? Can't we just all admit that it's a good thing and move the fuck on and let law prevail? But they can't let that fucking happen, can they? Because they're putrid pieces of fucking shit is what they are. Bye, Freedom, good to see you. Brandon Mitchell, good to see you. Ed for Action, great to see you. You said C.J. Grisham did a video showing that qualified immunity was created in 1979 when 16 words were deleted from the Constitution. I got to watch that. C.J. Grisham's my boy. I had talked to him a few times before he was an attorney. Now he's an attorney, and he don't want to talk to me anymore, I guess. It's funny. Even though I've defended myself twice in a criminal court and been successful, I've had no prosecutions, no guilty. And isn't that what we're talking about? My last case, too. Randolph County, West Virginia. I wasn't convicted. I didn't plead guilty. I didn't admit to anything, and I have a clean record, as if I was never arrested. So can I sue? According to this, I can sue now, can't I? Do you hear me, Randolph County? Bobby Elbon. Is Bobby in here? Is Bobby Elbon here? I don't think so. No, Bobby's not in here. County commissioners down there, Randolph County? This kind of applies, doesn't it? I could sue you now, can't I? Because you maliciously prosecuted me for speaking at a meeting. Speaking of C.J. Grisham, somebody show C.J. Grisham my video in the Randolph County Commissioner meeting. Okay, let's get back to this case. Similarly, they're talking here about all these other cases that agree that if you're not prosecuted, then you can sue. Several courts explicitly added, moreover, that a favorable termination did not require an acquittal or dismissal accompanied by some affirmative indication of innocence. In the words of the one court, it is not to be understood that an action for a malicious prosecution will not lie unless the party has been acquitted by a jury or a jury on trial. That's fucked up. On the contrary, a person may have his action after a bill rejected by the grand jury, blah, 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 blah. Okay, keep on going down. Keep on going down. Okay, we keep on going down. This is a long, long case. This is a long recitation. Okay, but we know now that the Supreme Court said that you no longer have to be prosecuted in order to file a 1983 lawsuit. Why does that make it bad for us? Hey, Ellie, how are you doing? Why does it make it bad for us who film? I'll tell you why. Because now they will prosecute us. They will never drop a case. It will go on for a year and a half. Right, McDowell County? Where I just filed 2 motions. Yes. 2 motions to disqualify the district attorney. Yes, Miss Brittany Puckett. Trooper Ricky Bobby Sue Jones. Not him. I'm going to get him in due time legally. Okay. He is being investigated as we speak. But I filed a 37-page motion to disqualify the district attorney elected, lead head prosecutor, and the magistrate judge of 47 years for judicial misconduct based upon 2 thumb drives that I received. 1 thumb drive in discovery. Another one 6 months later at trial when I objected to the video being shown. The proceedings stopped. The judge said, get him that fucking video so he could look at it and prepare for it. And I continue this hearing. Well, Trooper Jones gave me his thumb drive, which was different than the thumb drive that was given to me in initial discovery, which gave me another thumb drive to compare the metadata with the thumb drive that I was given by Miss Puckett. And there are some things that are questionable, Miss Puckett. Trooper Jones, Judge. Been 2 months since I filed that disqualification for both of them. Now, just like in Fannie and Wade down there in Fulton County, Georgia, there got to be a proceeding. Evidence has got to be fucking given. And I got evidence. Do you, counselor, judge? So, when it comes to my prosecution in this case right here, it proves that they are going to prosecute you. And from this point forward, they're going to bite the bullet. They're just going to arrest you and run you through the ringer because they're going to be sued anyhow. That's if a cop does a stupid thing. See, it all starts with the cop doing a stupid thing. And then they all have to cover it up by prolonged prosecution, thereby the malicious prosecution. And when you have a state trooper and a prosecutor working like this. Two different government agent entities, the executive branch and the judicial branch, sitting at the same table, prosecuting me, answering the judge's questions that were given to the prosecutor, answered by Trooper Jones. Why is Trooper Jones answering the prosecutor's question, the question to her? This is why they're prosecuting. They are not going to let go. And my motion cut like a fucking knife, as all my motions do. That's why I'm successful. I read case law like this. I don't even know. I remember hearing about this case a while ago, but I never got in depth with it because I was working on other things. Failure to disclose evidence. Right. Now, here's another thing, and here's another reason why. They're taking a good look at my case down in McDowell County. Trooper Jones, Ricky Bobby Sue Jones, said that he had drone footage and that he told the prosecutor that he needed to hold off on my prosecution because he needed to download it from the State Trooper Analytics Lab. And it was going to be done next week sometime. So the judge granted a motion to continue. So, I glitched there for a second. Sorry about that. I just reconnected. So, Ricky Bobby Jones said that he had drone footage, continued the case for it, told the prosecutor, Miss Puckett, to continue. The judge agreed to continue for drone footage that was not there. Where's my drones? Drones. So whenever this panel of judges, Supreme Court judges, hears that there was no drone footage, don't you think that they're going to take me a little bit more serious when I say I didn't receive the videos and there were broken links, that I could not get the videos with the discovery that Miss Puckett gave me? But I could access it with Trooper Jones's. Every link. Why were there missing folders on my discovery that you gave me, Miss Puckett? Why was there only 1 gig of discovery on the initial discovery, Miss Puckett, and 11 gigs on Trooper Jones's discovery at trial 6 months later, Miss Puckett? Is this all because you're going to manipulate evidence? You're going to allow manipulation of evidence. You're going to be brought into a lengthy trial over a trespassing and a failure to ID obstruction, and put your law degree and your law license on the line because because this case right here, person doesn't have to be convicted to sue. So if you drop the charges, I could sue. Oops, Trooper Ricky Bobby Sue Jones. Oops. Now the prosecutor's kind of fucked, isn't she? Hey, Ricky Bobby Sue Jones, you fucked the prosecutor. Can I put it any more succinctly? Never thought that I'd get another copy of that hard drive that was given to me by the State Trooper Lab through Miss Puckett. You never thought that I'd get another copy that I could find everything that you saw and that was instructed on that hard drive that I got from Miss Puckett on how to get these videos. Well, there were broken links to that. But when I get yours, all them links work. Huh, go figure. I did a PowerPoint presentation, folder by folder, what I'm seeing, comparison. Buckets compared to, I did a show on this. Not too long ago, I did a show on this. But this makes it more clear that I'm on the right path. That once Trooper Jones got the prosecution involved and the county of McDowell involved, that they had no choice. And I'll tell you how. Early on, I called up the prosecutor and asked him for my medical records back. Via state trooper body cam. That's HIPAA. And I would like them returned to the proper custodian of them records. The hospital or me. Preferably me. I got that on audio. So when I asked for my medical records back from the prosecutor, what do you think they're thinking? They aren't going to take the hit because it isn't their responsibility to maintain medical records. It's the hospitals. Oops. County-run hospital. Oops. And I know I'm cutting like a knife at you right now, Miss Puckett. Trooper Ricky Bobby Sue Jones. Judge. Magistrate. With all due respect. I got so many irregularities that you're fucked. There's no way to worm out of it, counselor. Now I know why it's been a year and a half. Now I know why you ain't going to give up. Because if you give up, this Supreme Court decision says I get to sue you, lickety-split, and others. But specifically for malicious prosecution. Now, meow, who are you? Freaking media. Corruption is real. Good to see you. Case right here. Puts us all in danger. Supreme Court, Thompson versus Clark. Because they're going to prosecute you till the end if some stupid cop arrests you for the most easy misdemeanor charges, common sense charges. Nat. Yeah, that's funny. So, well, yeah, let me do this. Let me do this. I'm going to do this real quick. Oh, there it is. Come on, you can do it. Computer. There we go. All right. These are all the motions that I have filed. These are all the motions I have filed in McDowell County. Speedy trial down here. Motion for 1 and 2. Return of property right here. Motion to quash prosecution's evidence. Motion to dismiss 1 and 2. Motion for my continuance right here. Then it went to trial. I'm sitting there at trial. The prison guard is sworn in, Lieutenant Looney. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and the truth, blah, 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 blah? Yeah. He started to testify that I was on their property down there. Miss Puckett was leading him in questions, but no, I didn't object right away. She kept on telling him what to say, but no, I just let them go because it wasn't hurting me. As soon as Miss Puckett played the video, 8 minutes into the trial, 10 minutes at the most in the trial, I objected. I object. That video. I've asked for it in motions to return of property. I've asked for it in discovery. I've asked for it in all these different places, both on the phone, motions to you, Judge, and everything else. I'm not prepared for this video. The judge looks at Miss Puckett and says, well, how long are the videos? Thereby, the trooper who's sitting right next to her says, oh, they're about 8 minutes, this one, Your Honor. And why is the trooper answering the judge's question to Miss Puckett? Why, counselor? Trooper says about 8 minutes. Judge says, well, is there any way that you could show him the video? Yeah, we could go in this room back here. We went in the room back there. The trooper threatened to arrest me for talking about the drone footage. And we come out of there, and I said, no, I need to be prepared for these. They got 57 videos on his laptop. Judge said, okay, it's continued. Give him the copy of it. He gave me his thumb drive, stupid fucker. There were 2 thumb drives produced, one for the investigator, Trooper Jones, and one for the prosecutor. They were identical, which they have to be legally, except one was 1 hour from being created than the other. The one that I got was the hour, the original one. The one that Trooper Jones gave me was 1 hour away from the copy that I got. So they made one copy. It was done. Then they printed another copy, which is legal. But in trial, you have to bring what you initially show in discovery. You can't bring evidence in of a file that has 11 gigs in it compared to my 1. Where are all them files, and why didn't I get the 11 gig? So, it all stopped. I come home. I did the metadata search. I compared the hard drive. I prepared a motion that cuts like a knife. Right here. See this? I'm not going to go through it. This is one page. All the motions that I filed were right there. All timestamp filed motions. This is all the other. I'm letting the courts know what I've done here to get my evidence, get the discovery. These are all the motions so that there isn't but one motion here. It's 37 pages, including, see, 6 of 27, 7 of 27. So all they have to do is flip page to page to page, and there you go. 37 pages in order. And if you go up here, see all of these little things right here? See that? That is an audio file that I also submitted as evidence for disqualification of the judge, magistrate, and the district attorney. Now, I'm going to go to 2. Go to 2. And, I mean, this blows your mind, you know. I have documented everything from court rules, judges' rules. They're called canons. This is a canon. What a judge is allowed to do and what is not allowed to do. The judge is not allowed to talk to the fucking witness while on the stand while the opposing counsel are in another room. I witnessed the judge talking to the witness on the stand that's right next to him. I witnessed the witness on the stand reach across the fucking judge's table to fist bump somebody. The judge is not allowed to be talking to anybody because he's the jury too. That's what I claim the judge has done in judicial misconduct. That trooper gives me legal advice all the time, Joe Black says. Okay, so they're called judicial canons. What the judges are allowed to do, you're not allowed to have ex parte communication with the witnesses about the case without informing both parties. Because at that point, it's your duty as a judge to go ahead and say, hey, I'm going to stop the trial right now. The witness is out of the courtroom. I had communication with the witness. Now you get to ask me questions, and you get to ask the witness questions about what was said. Go ahead. In essence, the judge becomes a witness. Judge, when you talk to the fucking witness on the stand, in the middle of trial when the two lawyers are sequestered, you are not allowed to talk to them. Oops. That's what I said here in the bottom part. Ex parte communication right here. Look, rule number 211, disqualification. A judge shall disqualify himself or herself in any proceeding in which the judge impartially might reasonably be questioned, including but not limited to the following circumstances. And I ain't going to go through the circumstances. You probably could guess it, right? Hey, good to see you, True Seeker. That's it. Just to catch you up. Just to catch you up on my case in McDowell County. It's been a long time. I miss you guys. But it's been really cold down in the bunkhole. My furnace went in my bunkhole. Freezing. I can't even barely be down in out of my bed. But we're okay. Let's get done with this. Done. Okay, let's go back to. Yes, I agree, John D. Nicola. Okay, we're going back to the living room. Okay. See. I not only audit police, government officials, government buildings, not indoor, outdoor, mainly. I audit through and through. I, with the help of you, go into these courtrooms and battle these people on their own turf and think of ways to think out of the box. Legal interpretations that are, thought-provoking. to the point where I haven't heard back 2 months from a review of my motion to qualify. Hey, thanks, True Seeker. So I think that that's the way we all need to go, because you're going to be arrested. You're going to see more people being arrested and then you're not going to see more people arrested. You're going to see the same amount of people arrested, but more people being prosecuted to the nth. I was watching Otto the Watchdog, where he slammed down on the ground and he was prosecuted and convicted by jurors. He was carrying the fake gun, not fake, but airsoft gun. And it blows my mind that they prosecuted him. They didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was legal or not. Every once in a while, you'll get a jury that'll win. They'll win, not you. I wouldn't rest my laurels on a jury trial so much anymore. Yeah, sheepdog. Sorry. Yeah, that was Texas sheepdog. Thank you. Thank you. And you're going to see that they're going to prosecute people to the nth. They're going to run you through the ringer because some cop made a mistake and now they're stuck because of that Supreme Court ruling. That if they throw it out, they don't have to give a reason and they can be sued. It gives them incentive to hang in there. They'll spend the public's money forever to protect one of their own. They got an unlimited supply of money and bodies to throw at you. Audit throughout. If you're going to do this, film, audit, whatever you, even if you're just a person out there and you decide to film your encounter. After that happens, you need to become full-blown, through and through, know your rights, learn case law that pertains to your case in your state and Supreme Court, and fight it, man, especially the misdemeanors. Yeah, Otto and Eric were, yeah, they came after them, and I think that them cases also show that they're going to come after you if you film. If a cop makes a bad choice to illegally arrest, detain, come into your house, and all of that. So how do you think that synopsis of that Supreme Court case went? Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Let me go down here and I'm going to end it on, yes, let's end it on this, the Bacon Light Boys.
Boom.
Man, if only that was true.
The mopping fish. When the fish is mopping, means it's the end of the show. Thank you very much for coming. Love you all.
We'll go home around this town.
Wait a second. Let's go to this one. I like that one better. Let's go to this one. I haven't. I don't think I've shown this one.
I'll be honest with you.
Let's mellow it down even more with a little bit of water.
Let me dance together, my world in the sky. It's a fairyland day that comes true. And you look at me with those stars in your eyes. I could walk across Texas with you. Walks across Texas with you.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
Walks across Texas with you.
Matt, I always love you, and I'll try not to stay away too long. Line 1, I love you. Definitely walk across Texas. Play that harmonica, Todd. Back up there. Bruce Ingram. Corruption is Yale. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Edification.
Take it away.
Brandon Mitchell's here. Ed for action. Exiled 1. Holy shit, how did I miss Exiled 1? Very fun. Good to see you.
Heartache and trouble had just suddenly gone.
Tyson Stephen.
You come
Good here.
in
Logan Road. Casey Betty's here in the bunkhole. They love the smell of the bunkhole. I mean, it's a great aroma. And on Miles. Oh, Miles has been moving around a little bit. I was playing. The tribe. Robert Reed. Good to see you all.
I'm lost in your charms, and I just walk across Texas with you.
Thank you, Baker Lake Boys, proud sponsors of the Bunkhole, and First Amendment lovers, constitutional lovers.
Beautiful whiskey, Big. Camara said, Big, are you having a seizure?
17 of them, to be exact. Count them next time.
I love.
All right. Thank you very much for coming. Love you. See you later. Bye.